We have another question from one of our customers. Should the interval between oil changes or oil samples be consistent to ensure accurate trend analysis on a given engine? I think it's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. A lot of people worry about that because they'll send it in and they'll try to get as close to, for example, 50 hours as they can. I need 50 hours every time I do my analysis. And honestly, it makes the data easier to look at when you have consistent intervals like that, but it's so unnecessary to do that. And the reason I say that is because if you go out to our website and you log in to find your data, which is available through the portal on our website, you can select ppm hours. And what ppm hours does is it changes the actual data into normalized data for wear metals over any given period of time, right? ppm hours. So instead of just having part per million, which is what you'd see if you looked at the report and didn't convert to ppm hours, you would have part per million hours. So it's normalized, so no matter what the interval is, you can normalize the data so that it makes sense to you.
Could you share typical piston engine oil analysis costs as well as costs for filter?
Oh, this is petty. Yeah, so for just regular oil analysis, our cost is around $30, $29.95. And that includes the kit that you send the oil back kerosene. It includes the analysis. We often get asked, oh, that's the price for the kit. How much does the analysis cost? That includes the analysis as well. And it includes the shipping back to us. So we use USPS, first class shipping. It's trackable shipping. It usually takes 7 to 10 days to get to us. All of that is included. Shipping back to us, the cost of the kit, and the cost of the analysis. After we're done, we'll send an email to you to let you know the results are ready for you. All of that for $29.95. If you want to do your own shipping because you want it to come to us faster and for faster turn times, you can do that. It's about $5 less to do that, so about $24.95. The filter analysis is much more. It includes the oil analysis, but it also has a filter analysis, which is a much more elaborate process. It takes us a little more time. It's a 3 business day turnaround, and it costs about $85 per week. So
does it come with the shipping fee when you
does
actually
come with the shipping. And the reason it doesn't come with the return shipping to us is because we get all kinds of different filters. There's all kinds of different weights involved. So it's just easier for us to let you put the shipping down in these cases.
The customer sends you a filter for analysis. Can you get the filter back?
It's a great follow-up. Yeah, they can. There's a little checkbox on the customer information form. There's a form that we put in all of our kits. It's a little bit like buying a house because it asks you for a ton of information, but all that information is useful to our technicians when they're evaluating your sample results. But included on that form, we call it a customer information form or a CIF. Included on that CIF is a checkbox if you want us to return your filter. Most people don't, but a few of the filters that we get are cleanable, so they want them back again. And just check that box and we'll be happy to send it back to you.
Do you sell a complete kit that involves both oil and filters?
We do sell a complete kit that comes with, and those vary depending on the cost of the filter, of course. The basic price is that $85 for the analysis, and then whatever the cost of the filter is on top.
We work together as a team, but if I were a customer, I assume you want to pick one lab. What would you say to this customer?
If they want to just pick one lab? First of all, there's no need to pick one lab. Well, we get this question a lot because people will be using a different lab. They started with them, they have the data with them, they really want to continue with them. Why should I change? So the first thing I'll tell them is, well, you want to change to Aviation Laboratories because we're aviation only. We have good pricing, we have great turnarounds, we have a great technical staff, we've got a great customer support staff. All of these benefits to using Aviation Laboratories. So the follow-up to that would be, well, but I've been using a different lab. I don't want to lose all that data. What I say to them is that the first data set that you get, you can compare that to another lab, but 2 makes a trend. So if you do 2 analysis with us, now you're starting to develop a trend with us, right? So all of that previous data is related to other oil changes. It's related to pre-maintenance stuff that you've done, right? none of that data is really valuable anymore once you've done maintenance to your engine, right? So if you're thinking, well, I've got 10 years of data, but you've overhauled your engine 2 or 3 times since then, all of that really, really old data doesn't matter anymore because that was basically a different engine you were looking at, even though it has the same serial number, right?
Yes.
What we're most concerned about is the data, the recent past data, and the data moving forward. Most importantly is the data moving forward, right? And the most important way that we analyze or evaluate that data is to look at trends. How is that data changing as you change the oil, right? So in that case, 2 makes a trend. You started here, we can relate that back to the lab's previous work.
Right.
Everything beyond that or everything forward of that develops a trend that we can look at from our lab. So 2 makes a trend.
From the time you get the sample, what is your average turnaround time?
Yeah, that's an easy one. For oil analysis, it's 1 business day, 24 hours. For filter analysis, it's usually 3 business days. The filter analysis process is much more elaborate, so it takes a little bit more time.
Okay.
So we tell people 3 business days or 72 hours.